You do not enter this world through a front gate. You enter through rain, salt, and a lie. The first thing you learn is that no one here says the word smuggler. Not out loud, not near the lanterns, not near the customs office, not near the ships unloading grain in broad daylight while something far more valuable moves underneath them in darkness. Officially, this port is clean, orderly, taxed, controlled. Unofficially, it breathes through hidden doors, false cargo lists, bribed watchmen, and men who can move a crate across 3 borders without leaving a name behind. And tonight, you are no one. Just a skinny dock rat with wet boots, empty pockets, and a face forgettable enough to survive. That is why they take you. Because in a smuggler port network, the first rank is not power, it is usefulness. And usefulness starts at the bottom. At the lowest level, you are a runner. You do not know what is inside the packages. You are not supposed to ask. You carry a wrapped bundle from the fish market to a warehouse with no sign. You memorize knock patterns. 2 slow, 1 fast. You learn which alleys stay dark after midnight and which taverns are used for meetings disguised as drunken arguments. Your pay is pathetic. Your risk is not. If the city watch catches you, no one important knows your name. That is the beauty of your rank. You are disposable enough to deny and invisible enough to replace. But this is where the port begins teaching you. You learn that every shipment has 2 versions, the visible one and the real one. A cart loaded with onions may be carrying silver bars beneath rotten sacks. A priest's wagon may be hiding letters, medicines, contraband books, or fugitives. A fishing boat drifting in at dawn may be worth more than a royal convoy. The port is not a place, it is a machine, and every lie is a gear. If you survive long enough, you become a watcher. Now you stop carrying and start seeing. You stand on a rooftop near the harbor and pretend to mend nets. You sit near tavern doors and count uniforms. You learn ship flags, harbor codes, and the habits of officials. Which inspector drinks before noon? Which clerk gambles away his salary? Which guard has a sick daughter and can be bought with imported medicine instead of coin? This rank is where you discover that contraband is moved less by brute force than by information. You begin sending signals. A lantern in one window means the checkpoint changed. A red cloth on a balcony means the patrol doubled. A boy whistling the wrong tune in the market means abort the delivery. You are still low ranking, but now the network trusts your eyes. One mistake can burn an entire route. One missed signal can sink a ship, expose a warehouse, and leave bodies floating beside the pier by sunrise. At this rank, fear changes shape. It is no longer the fear of getting caught. It is the fear of being the weak link everyone remembers. Then comes the tallyman. This is the first rank that touches paper, and paper is more dangerous than knives. Now you work in the counting rooms behind respectable businesses, spice merchants, chandlers, shipping offices, storehouses that smell like tar and pepper. You record false cargo weights, you alter manifests. You split one shipment into 3 legal stories. 10 barrels of lamp oil become 8 barrels of oil, 1 barrel of damaged goods, and 1 barrel that officially never arrived. Your handwriting becomes a weapon. Your arithmetic becomes camouflage. This is where you learn the real scale of the network. The runner thinks in packages. The watcher thinks in streets. The tallyman thinks in routes. Now you can see the lines connecting everything. The coastal village that receives untaxed cloth. The inland monastery that hides banned texts. The noble house secretly funding illegal imports while publicly demanding harsher crackdowns. Everyone condemns the black market until it delivers something they need. Silk, salt, weapons, medicine, people, information. The port feeds on hypocrisy, and for the first time, you understand how large the beast really is. If you prove discreet, you rise again. Now you are an escort. This sounds honorable. It is not. It means you move with the cargo when it becomes too valuable to trust to luck. You carry a blade, sometimes a pistol, sometimes nothing at all because armed men attract questions. You travel on river barges, mule trains, concealed compartments in merchant ships, and once, if you are unlucky, inside the cargo yourself. You guide smugglers through marshes, caves, sewer tunnels, hidden coves, and half-collapsed fort walls known only to men who map cities by what lies beneath them. At this rank, you finally understand violence. Not glorious violence, not battlefield heroics. Port violence is fast, close, and practical. A throat cut behind stacked crates, a body dropped between tides, a captain poisoned 3 days before departure, a witness bribed if possible, silenced if necessary. The network does not enjoy bloodshed. It simply treats it like any other cost. Delay is expensive. Exposure is fatal. Sentiment is weakness. But you are moving upward, which means you are now trusted with secrets that can kill you. You learn which magistrates are paid, which captains run clean and which run double games, which warehouse is real and which is bait for raids, which rival crew has started cutting into your routes. And then you learn the most important rule of all. The cargo matters less than the corridor. Anyone can steal one shipment. Only the powerful can keep a path open. That truth is what transforms you into the next rank, the broker. Now you no longer move goods. You move people's greed against itself. A broker sits between worlds. You speak with ship captains, dock foremen, customs clerks, innkeepers, fence operators, corrupt priests, desperate nobles, and foreign agents who arrive pretending to be traders. You negotiate percentages, bribes, protection, silence. You solve crises before they become investigations. A missing crate, a dead courier, a rival demanding passage fees, a tax officer who suddenly discovers integrity and must be reminded how profitable forgetfulness can be. At this level, your clothes improve, your accent softens, your hands get cleaner. That is the danger. You start to look respectable. You begin dining with the same men who would hang your runners. You laugh with officials whose signatures keep your network alive. You realize the port's underworld is not beneath the city at all. It is woven through the center of it. A broker's greatest talent is plausibility. You make illegal things sound administrative. You make treason sound commercial. You make disappearance sound like delay. And when pressure rises, you choose who gets sacrificed. A lower route is exposed to protect a higher one. A careless captain is handed over so a magistrate can claim progress. A warehouse is emptied and abandoned before the raid arrives, then leaked to authorities so everyone important seems cooperative. By now, morality is not gone exactly, it has simply been outpriced. If you survive the broker's chair, you become a harbor lieutenant. Now you command a section of the machine, one side of the river, 3 docks, 6 warehouses, certain taverns, specific crews. You do not just react, you plan. You assign who carries what, where the cargo sleeps, which patrols get bought, which routes cool down for a month, which rival gangs can be tolerated, and which must be crushed before they become ambitious. Men lower than you think you are rich. Men above you know you are still vulnerable. Because this is the rank where paranoia becomes constant. The more authority you hold, the less certain you are of anyone around you. Your own bookkeeper may be skimming. Your own escort captain may be selling route timings. Your own mistress may be listening too carefully. Even success is suspicious. A shipment that arrives too smoothly might mean someone unseen let it pass for a reason. In the smuggler port network, easy money often means a trap has already been set. You also begin to understand politics. Ports are never merely criminal, they are strategic. Armies need supply. Aristocrats need luxuries. Rebels need weapons. Merchants need deniability. Empires pretend they control the shoreline, but the shoreline belongs to whoever controls flow. And flow is your business now. A harbor lieutenant can starve districts, arm militias, enrich governors, or collapse competitors simply by deciding what does and does not arrive. That power attracts attention from the final world above you, the council. Sometimes it is one master. More often, it is several. Old ship owners, crime families, ex-naval officers, merchant princes, intelligence men, and one or two smiling public gentlemen who officially have nothing to do with any of this. They rarely appear at the docks. They live in upper rooms, country houses, private dining chambers, back pews in expensive churches. They do not carry contraband. They own debt. They own secrets. They own loyalty purchased long before you were born. Reaching them is not a promotion. It is an induction. If they pull you upward, you are no longer just a criminal operator. You become part of the architecture. Now you see how the entire port network breathes. Smuggling is not random theft from the state. It is an alternate state. It has revenue, enforcement, supply chains, intelligence, diplomacy, punishments, safe houses, legal fronts, and succession plans. It survives regime change because officials change faster than networks do. Kings fall, governors are replaced, wars begin and end. The port remains. At council level, you no longer ask whether a shipment gets through. You ask whether letting it fail serves a better purpose. You can ruin honest businesses by flooding markets with untaxed goods. You can create shortages, then end them at a price. You can help fugitives escape one month and sell names the next. You can tilt elections in merchant councils, bankroll pirate hunters while employing pirates, and finance public charities using money made from things no court would admit exist. This is the rank where the port stops feeling like adventure and starts feeling like empire. And it is also the loneliest rank of all, because now everyone below you smiles upward and schemes sideways. Runners fear you, brokers flatter you, officials dine with you and record your weaknesses the entire time. Rivals do not need to stab you in alleys anymore. They can destroy your routes, expose one account, turn one ally, intercept one letter, and let law do the killing for them. The higher you rise, the less your enemies need to touch you. So what does it actually feel like inside every rank of a smuggler port network? At the bottom, it feels like hunger. In the middle, it feels like momentum. Near the top, it feels like balancing a city on a rotten beam. That is the secret no outsider understands. From the shore, a smuggler port looks chaotic. Loud sailors, drunken brawls, crates disappearing in fog. But inside, rank by rank, it is disciplined, hierarchical, patient. It trains people to think in layers. The runner sees one street, the watcher sees one night, the tallyman sees one route, the broker sees one market, the lieutenant sees one harbor. The council sees the entire coastline like a chessboard built out of greed. And if you had started at the very bottom, with seawater in your boots and no name worth remembering, you might once have believed the goal was money. It is not. Money gets you into the network. Fear keeps you alive inside it. But control is what every rank is really chasing. Control over routes. Control over silence. Control over who eats, who pays, who speaks, who vanishes, and who gets to pretend none of this exists. That is why people never really leave. A runner can dream of escape. A broker can buy a house. A lieutenant can purchase titles. A councilman can donate to cathedrals and die praised as a pillar of the city. But the network stays in them, because once you have seen how the world truly moves, not by laws, not by flags, not by speeches, but by hidden corridors and mutually profitable lies, ordinary life starts to look like theater. You know which doors are fake, which records are altered, which men in polished robes are only gangsters with cleaner fingernails. And one day, standing above the harbor while dawn turns the water gold, you would watch legal ships sail in under the eyes of the state, illegal ships slip out under the blessing of the same men, and realize the final truth of the smuggler port network. The underworld was never under anything. It was the world.